Hello, good morning, and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAP TV, where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines every day. Of course, we are the streets of Port Harcourt at a newspaper stand to get reactions and opinions and even thoughts of people about the headlines that are making rounds on the papers. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today. While we wait and look into the papers, let's see what it got for us. All right, let's look into the dailies for today and see what the stories look like on the Vanguard newspaper. We see at the top story here reads non-oil exports fall 24% to $4.46 billion, says CBN data. Details is found on page 19. We see at the main story here reads Rivers crisis, confusion over conflicting court orders. Sub-story is under that reads one court nullifies 2024 budget, another court orders parties to maintain status quo. Details is found on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Okewa laments limited admission quota for Southeast in public varsities. Details is found on page 6. Aftermath of attack will become IDPs in our land. Cross River Monarch cries out. Details is found on page 10. FG to fund student loan scheme with education tax. FIRS boss. Details is found on page 9. We see at the bottom story here reads Rompo's over relocation of federal agencies to Lagos. Details is found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Over 1.1 million new COVID-19 cases recorded in 28 days globally, says WHO. We thought this COVID-19 saga has been over, we thought this pandemic has been over because you and I have already moved on, but WHO, according to WHO, they are attesting that this case has been ongoing. There are records of higher cases of it. Let's stay safe and stay careful. Alright, still on the newspaper, we see federal government governors to suspend nuisance taxes nationwide, says presidential committee. I take that again. Federal government governors to suspend nuisance taxes nationwide, says presidential committee. This is found on page 8 as well. That's all we'll be taking on the Vanguard newspaper. All right, moving on to the Punch newspaper, we see at the top story here reads CBN may raise bank capitals. The CBN may raise bank capital base to 900 billion naira, says report. Details found on page 21. Reducing cabinet will affect performance, Tinubu insists. Details found on page 22. Dangote Cement hits 10 trillion naira capitalization. Details found on page 25. Kidnapping epidemic, most abductions in Abuja, others not reported, says victim's family. Some story area reads Okota, others gain notoriety as kidnapping hotspot in Lagos. Another sub-story area reads why kidnap cases are underreported, says AI private investigators. Details of this story is found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We see at the bottom stories it reads NSCDC destroys 4 rivers illegal refineries. Details found on page 29. Protest as Abuja court nullifies Rivers 2024 budget. Details found on page 27. Supreme Court has released Kanu's judgment CTC, says lawyer. Details is found on page 7. And that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. There are more than 200 types of venereal diseases or chronic sexually transmitted infections. Right, lastly on the papers for today, we're looking at the Nation's newspaper. We see at the top story here, Dangote reclaims African stops. Dangote reclaims Africa's top in Forbes 2024 billionaires list. This is continued on page 6 of the Nation's newspaper. We see at the main story here reads, federal government explains how students will access loan. Sub-stories under the rigged program fully automated. Direct payment to beneficiary schools. Details is found on page 2 of the Nation's newspaper. Still on the newspaper, we see here court voids Rivers 800 billion naira budget in 2024. I take that again. Court voids Rivers 800 billion naira 2024 budget. Details is found on page 2. Nnamdi Kanu gives condition for reconciliation. Details is found on page 27. Abia varsity teachers begin strike over 11 months unpaid salary arrears. This is found on page 27, and that's all we'll be taking on the Nation's newspaper. Now let's get to see the reaction. Let's get to hear what the people on the streets have to say about these headlines making rounds on the papers. Okay, good morning. Good morning. I would like your thoughts on the Nation's newspaper that says Nnamdi Kanu gives condition for reconciliation.
What I would like to say in short is that the condition, let federal government meet up the condition so that there will be a peace in this Nigeria and Southeast at large.
Okay, but you know this condition now includes a working airport, international airport at that, seaport, good roads. In past years, we've seen that the government does not focus more on Southeast. Do you think they will meet up to this demand? Do you think that the Nigerian government is able to meet up to this demand?
My own understanding, they will not be able to meet demand because when if actually they do such to meet up the demand, I hope in like Kaduna we have a dry seaport there. Lagos we have seaport. International airport is in Lagos. There will be a lesser tax for that side than this side. So if they do such, because the most business in Lagos is Southeast, is major holder. So if they start doing the demand of Nnamdi Kanu, so I hope there is no need for Southeast to go down there, and there will be no more tax to pay that place. So that's the thing.
Okay, now let's assume that the federal government would want to meet up with these demands, like with this reconciliation that Nnamdi Kanu gave. Do you think that even if the federal government meets it, Nnamdi Kanu would want to stop this Biafran agitation? Remember that this Biafran movement has had a very long time and it has gone a very long way. And you know that we should, if we tell ourselves the truth, a lot of things have happened because of this Biafran agitation. Do you think he would be able to call it off?
No, I can't know because it's an ideology. Biafran agitation is an ideology. Okay. Cannot be able to cut it off. So that's my own opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, I saw somewhere that they have released the certified true copy of his previous case. And you know the Supreme Court delayed in releasing it, reasons best known to them. Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu, aside meeting up with these conditions now, if the Supreme Court gives a verdict now that he should be released, will he be released?
Yes, that's the last order from the higher court in the country. He will be released.
And you are sure the federal government will keep to these orders?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't trust our federal government.
Okay, you don't trust the federal government?
I'm not. Many things is happening here now. Many things is happening here. We don't have. Okay, for instance, look at what is happening in Imo State election. Somebody that in fourth position come to become a first position by Supreme Court means that our court is not working. So that is the thing.
Okay, so is the fault really coming from the federal government or from the courts that are giving the
federal government is the court. The court is the federal government. Based on the kind of politics we are playing here. So court is not an independent. Like what they say, it's an independent arms of government. But here in Nigeria, court is not like that. So that's why I say it will not be possible for federal government to base on high court, Supreme Court give the judgment. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I would like your thoughts on this story on the Vanguard newspaper that says Rivers crisis, confusion over conflicting court orders.
Well, it depends on their way of their doing things. But definitely, I don't know what Fubara and Sim is up to. Sometimes a situation will come like this. The situation will be like this. But the crisis will not be that level where they are going on.
So it depends on how they handle it.
They want to handle it legally. That will a kind of president and great peace. When they handle it legally, normally they have great peace. Because Sin was claiming that the people deflated for APC to PDP.
Those House of Representatives.
Goes back to I think both members they deflated for PDP. PDP give you vote and they deflated to APC. Yeah, you vacate your seat. You take your hand and vacate your seat. So if you see it playing that game, you see it playing the right thing. Because you vacate your seat on your own side. Because PDP gave you the vote. and they defected to APC. See, if whatever sin it was pending them with you, that is what they need, because they vacate their seat by themselves, not sin vacate them. So that is my contention.
Okay, sir. Then there says Fubara submitted a budget for 2024 over 800, I think 800 billion naira. Now one court rejected it, while the other one accepted it. What do you have to say about the rejection and the
Court accepted it, but others are rejected it. They don't follow court instruction now. Since the court accepted it, because you are working with God.
The other one that rejected it too is from another court, rejecting that same budget.
But the one accepted sin is the number one citizen of this state. If you have to say, as far as things have the first court to accepted the same budget, the other one nullified it. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, now do you think this division now is this rejection and acceptance is coming from the fact that the budget is too high, or because the River State government in general is divided?
They are the only say we do understand that River State government is divided already. Because of some people selfish interest.
Because of selfish interest.
Selfish interest for some people. We don't mention them because of people selfish interest. People are still outside and they're still working on River State. They have interest on River State because of some people selfish interest. That is exactly what you're working with.
Okay, but do you feel the moves Fubara is making is good for him, or do you think Wike is having much influence on him that he's not supposed to have?
Wike is having much influence on him on so people should have. At least Wike have already left River State. Allow him to play.
But we know that Wike has been a good impact on him for a while, and Wike is like his father in politics.
Beautiful. Wike is your father in politics. On which angle? Yes, even Amechi was the same Wike father goes there. But Wike let the end betrayed Amechi. It's no Martin in River State. It's no Martin in River State. Likewise, what all the lady, what Amechi did to all the Wike did with Amechi. Amechi was one who bring him into the system, but Wike betrayed him at the end because of the federal mind taking to take Amechi.
That is why you need good ways.
Okay, so like you are trying to say in general that the court should go, everybody in Rivers government should go in support with Fubara's budget.
Yes, exactly. Let them support the Fubara budget because nobody opposes Wike budget. The former governor, nobody opposes his budget. Then why can you oppose this person's budget?
It don't break so many families to
what can you oppose people to budget? The former governor of River State, nobody opposed his budget when he opposed it in the world. And remember the situation of country now. Where things are now. Things are not so big before. Everything things are increasing. So if he increase the budget, nobody should nullify it. Nobody nullify Wike budget when Wike bring his own budget. Nobody nullifies it. Then how can they nullify the budget? We are in support of team budget. Let them go ahead on it.
Okay, so do you think like this division now, this them not supporting the budget is because the budget is too much, or is it because of the division in Rivers government?
One thing is the division of River State, not that they don't get it.
Because the division that is causing it.
Yes, the division is causing it because of some people selfish interest there. Because their interest was not protected again, then try to nullify it. But if the interest is protected, then we nullify it. That is the thing. That's the game I've seen there.
You know, politics is a very dirty game.
Yes, it's very dirty game, very dirty game. It's a selfish interest. You left River State and you are still in River State. What does that mean? You left River State and you are still in River State.
Well, some persons are saying Wike putting hand is still helping Fubara push the government well because Fubara has not been in such power before.
He never helped Fubara, but he made Fubara to reduce. He never allowed the gang to work with him. He never allowed Fubara to give Fubara space because of his interest. I don't know what they agreed only before, because police is a game of, it's a game. It's a game business. Yes, it's a smart business and it's a negotiation. I never know what he negotiated with them, but the young man feel that he can be able to carry the body again. Then you are working for River State, you are not working for human being. So if the court agreeing what's in game, the court agreeing what's in the game, then let them go ahead and approve the budget.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Alright, this is where we draw our curtains for today. Whatever headline that draws your attention, please slide into our comment section and drop your comment, and whatever contributions that you have, you can also drop it on our comment section. Please subscribe, turn on the notification button, follow us across all our social media platforms, so that when we drop videos like this, you got to receive it firsthand. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAP TV.